Now it's better? Okay.
Yes.
I'll keep it. I'll hold it like this. Right. So once again, we are back in our today's third session, which is a continuation of the session yesterday. We were hearing about the introduction of God. Yes, quickly, we will recap in just a minute's time as to what we understood yesterday about the concept of God, right? So yesterday we were discussing about the form of God. As you have understood in the PPTs also, it was shown that God doesn't has a form like us. He is also a point of light, just like the soul. And the name we understood about the true name, the eternal name, or the Satya, which is the truth about God's name, is Shiva. Why only Shiva? We understood that also, and what the name suggests, or what the true meaning of the name. Shiva means the seed, the benefactor of the human tree, and Shiva means the truth also, right? So that is why the perfect name given to him is Shiva. Form is incorporeal form, doesn't has a body like us. And where does he reside? Yesterday we understood about the concept of three worlds. One is the corporeal world, the world where we exist, the world of day and night, the world of cycles of birth and death. So the world of action and reaction. Beyond this corporeal world, where there is many cycles rotating, above this is the incorporeal world, and above the incorporeal world is above the subtle region is the incorporeal world, the soul world, where all souls, belong to, reside along with the supreme soul, the home for all the soul and the supreme soul. The Father, Shiv Baba, resides there. We understood all the founder fathers have pointed upwards, and we understood where up yesterday. I'm sure it was clear in the pictures shown to you. Did it help you in a way to understand about the abode or the place where God resides? Yeah. So coming to the next concept of what does God do, or what is the kartavya, what is the true actions performed by God. Okay, so any idea what God does? You may share, you may unmute yourself and share your ideas.
Yeah, Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
He wants to give us salvation.
Salvation, okay.
Based on our karma.
Sorry?
Based on our karma.
Based on our karma, right. Thank you. Any other ideas? What does God do? When we say God, Almighty, Sarvashaktivan, what does he actually do?
He's the creator and someone we can look up to.
Right.
I feel he creates a balance between everything. It's good or bad, whether it's living or non-living things.
Okay.
The aspects which are within our control and which is not within our control.
Right. Right. Thank you, Tanushri. Any other thoughts?
God actually listens our problems, and we can share everything to the God. If we are feeling something bad, and we can share with the God, he will give strength to us. So yeah, God
Like a true parent, that's what you meant, being like playing the role of a true parent. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Can be called like that, right? Okay.
yeah.
So thank you for
Yeah.
your ideas about God and what he does. So I will share my understanding, or what help me to better understand as to what God does. So I would suggest to play the PPT. Sister Pratyusha, please. Okay. Yes, coming to the attributes or the divine acts of Trimurti Shiva. Only in the path of devotion, Shiva is being referred to as Trimurti Shiva because there are three important acts of God. Hmm. And let us understand what is this three important acts. As the word God has three letters in it, G-O-D, God, in English. So G is referred to the generator, O is referred to the operator, and D is referred to the destroyer. So if he is the generator or the creator, what is his creation all about? If I say I'm a creator of something, of this building, what exactly did I create? This building for whom? And with how much, in details about what the creation is all about. So first creation or the first act of God is being a creator. So as we have understood yesterday that God doesn't has a body like us. He is beyond the limitations of body. So then how does he create something? Because in order to create something, a body, an instrument is required. Let us see the body like an instrument. Even I, the soul, I'm using my instrument to do some, daily routine works. Likewise, if God has to create something because he has been referred to as the creator, so hmm, how does he perform the act of creation? He takes a human body for a short while to create, and that human body is being referred to as Brahma. As shown in the picture, this is the picture or the image of the founder father of the Brahma Kumaris. I will come back to it, the detailed story about why he is being placed over here in the picture and why he is being referred to as Brahma, the creator. But for your understanding, just for the moment, that God uses this instrument or this body to perform the work of creation. And when he creates a righteous world through Brahma, a world where everything is based on truth, where it's a perfect world, there is no traces of sorrow or suffering. That is the creation of God. Then the second act of God, or the second work what he does is sustenance of the righteous world through Vishnu. You have seen the image of Lord Vishnu. Yeah, always there are four hands shown to Vishnu, which has four alankaras, which we call as alankaras. One is Gada, the symbol of power. The other is chakra, the conch, and the lotus. All four alankaras of Vishnu has a certain meaning attached to it. We'll come to it in a short while. So the righteous world is sustained by Vishnu or the deities whom we see in the temples are deities. Deities can be uh, called as divine human beings or perfect human beings. Okay. The third act of God is destruction. First is creation. The second is sustenance or operation. And the third is destruction through Shankar. Shankar is always been referred to as the destroyer. Right? So, this is the three acts of God. The four ornaments of Vishnu, which is first is Gada. Gada, the mace, which symbolizes the attainment of victories over all weaknesses and vices. Okay, Vishnu is the combined form of Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan, who are the first kings and queens of the the righteous world, the world which God creates for us, which is referred to as heaven, garden of Allah, Satyug, Swarg, in many, many different religions. Okay, so how is this righteous world or Satyug or the golden age or the garden of Allah sustained? It is sustained by the deities or the perfect human beings. Now the deities have certain powers. So how do we show their powers? In the form of these alankaras, it has been depicted. Not that they carried all these alankaras all the time. It is the depiction of it is symbolizing the powers which they had. So Gada refers to the attainment of victory over their own vices and weaknesses. Okay. Then the meaning of chakra in the hands of Lord Vishnu is, it is not to cut the necks of all the evil or the devilish personalities or the asuras, because deities were non-violent. So what is the meaning of chakra and why is it given to as an alankara to Lord Vishnu? So chakra symbolizes that Atma Darshan or Swa-darshan. It has been referred to as Swa-darshan chakra, which is realization of the self, that I am a soul, Swa-ka darshan, in this time cycle. We will come to the time cycle tomorrow. So in this time cycle, how the soul keeps moving, it is being symbolized in the form of chakra. This realization finishes the negativity in the self. When this realization of the self, that I am a soul moving in the cycle of time, this realization helps me finish the negativity in the self. We will understand how when we come to the time cycle lesson, which is tomorrow. Today, just for your understanding, chakra symbolizes the realization of the self. The third alankar, which is the conch, which symbolizes the revelation of God's knowledge to all. In the olden days, Shankadhwani or the conch, the music from the conch was played to announce, to make some, revelations, to make some announcements. Likewise, why is it shown in the hands of deities? Is they are the ones who revealed God's greatest knowledge to the entire mankind. That is why conch has been shown as a symbol in their hands. Then coming to the fourth alankar, which is the lotus, which symbolizes purity and detachment, being in household. So deities who sustain the righteous world, they lead a pure and a detached life. And the perfect symbol for this virtues which they hold on to is the lotus flower. If you observe the lotus flower, it is in a muddy water, yet it is above it, uninfluenced by the muddy water. Never ever you will find a drop of mud on the lotus flower, because lotus flower has a tendency, a slippery tendency is there on the petals. Even by chance, if some water falls on it, it slips out. So such kind of life which is uninfluenced by the negativity around them, or it is the symbol of purity. So that is why this is the perfect alankar for the deities. You might have observed many of our deities are always shown as seated on the lotus flower. Why not any other flower? Why they haven't been shown on a sunflower, on a rose flower, or any other flower? Why only it is lotus? Not that they were sitting, nobody can sit on a lotus, but they led a life which was pure and detached. Lotus is detached above the muddy water, right? So they led a beautiful life, a pure life. That is why lotus is the perfect symbol or the perfect seat for the deities has been shown. Okay. So today we will understand the difference between Shiva and Shankar. Yesterday somebody asked about it. So today we will understand in detail about there is a difference between Shiva and Shankar. There are two different names Shiva and Shankar. There are two different forms shown in the path of devotion. Shiva has been symbolically shown in the form of Ling, Shivaling, and Shankar has been shown as a human form like us, which is in a human body. There are two different names given, two different forms shown, and there are two different acts performed by them. Shiva is always said Kalyankari, the benefactor, and Shankar is always referred to as the destroyer, Vinashkari. So the acts are different, the forms are different, the name is different. So how can they be one and the same? Whereas in Bhakti, many people thought that Shiva and Shankar are one and the same. But truly speaking, Shiva is referred to the father of all souls, whereas Shankar is the one who is meditating, the symbolic form of a meditator, the one who is experiencing a connection with Almighty Shiva and drawing the energy from Shiva in order to purify their life and make their life worship worthy. Like Shankar is considered a deity, worship worthy soul. So Shankar is the symbolic form of all the meditators in the world. That is why he has been shown in a state of penance always, tapasvi form. And you might have observed in the picture of Shankar, any pictures out there in the world of Shankar, you will find that there is always a shivling in front of him, which means he is in association, in penance, or in remembrance of the ultimate one. So Shankar is the symbolic form of we souls, the children of Lord Shiva. Okay, so now we will understand the difference between Shiva and Shankar. Shankar, if you observe the picture over here also, he's always having a snake around his neck, hanging around like a mala or a chain, right? Snake is a poisonous thing. So not that the deities or the tapasvis or yogis always had a poisonous reptile around their neck. It is symbolic again. Every aspect shown in the picture of Shiva is symbolic. So snake represents the one who has been victorious over the vices within himself. Vices are 5. Majorly speaking, there are 5 heads of vices. There are too many in number, but the major ones, or broadly speaking, there are 5 vices. One is lust, second is anger, third is greed, fourth is attachment, and fifth is ego. The one who has accessed a control over their 5 vices, which are poisonous in nature. Because of the vices, there is a lot of suffering and sorrow in mankind. So the one who has, been victorious over the vices within the self, and these vices are now part of the soul of all souls. Percentage wise, it may vary. It could be less and more in some souls. It could be, different percentage in different souls, but the vices are there as viruses which has affected all souls, which is the root cause of all sorrow and suffering. So Shankar, or the meditator, is the one who associates the soul with the supreme soul and is victorious over the vices and weaknesses within the self. That is why it has been shown around his neck, which is symbolically the vices are within the self, the poisonous things which spoils or which creates lot of sorrow and suffering. Then if you observe the picture of Shankar, there is a third eye shown over here. It is shown in a physical form. But truly speaking, a meditator realizes that I am a soul, a point of light, which is my eternal identity. It is being referred to the opening of the third eye, the eye of realization of the true self. So, symbolically, it has been shown as a physical eye over here. But truly speaking, nobody can have a physical eye in the center of the forehead. That would be very scary to visualize also. So it is a subtle eye, the third eye of realization of the higher self. That is, I am a point of light which is seated in the center of the forehead. And Shankar, if you observe the picture, there is Ganges flowing from his head. शंकर की जटाओं से गंगा निकली, ऐसा बोला जाता है. There's a belief. But truly speaking, can water be flowing from somebody's head? Can you understand or relate to it? It's not possible on a physical level to understand, but it is again symbolically shown, which means there is always a continuous flow of the knowledge within the intellect of a meditator, of Shankar, who is a symbolic form of a meditator. When you associate yourself with the Supreme Soul, the God, then only, like from the ocean of knowledge, the knowledge flows within your soul as well. So it is being symbolically shown as the Ganges flowing. Then if you observe, there is a half moon shown on Shankarji's head. Again, it has a symbolic meaning. Why not a full moon? But in the picture, not shown over here, but generally in the picture, in the outside world, there is a full moon above him in the sky shown and a half moon on his head, which means he is aspiring to become a complete, perfect, pure, powerful soul, but now he is an effort maker, which is half moon, in the process of becoming a full moon, which is complete, full of all the divine powers and virtues. So the symbolic form of an effort maker in the path of meditation is Shankar. That is why half moon has been shown, but aspiring to become a full moon, which is complete and full. Then, if you observe, he has a trishul in his hand, even though in this picture it is missing, but trishul again symbolizes the one who understands. As a child of God, he also understands, he comes to understand the three aspects of time, which is his past, his present and future. By experiencing a connection between the soul and the Supreme Soul, the knowledge from the Supreme starts flowing within the soul. Because he holds, the Supreme Father Shiva holds the knowledge of three aspects of time. So when you associate yourself with Lord Shiva, with God Shiva, you also become a master knowledgeful soul, which is knowing your past, present and future. That is why there are three spokes in the Trishul. Always, not two, not one, three. Three has a meaning. So you understand about your past, present and future. So in your hand there is a Trishul shown, which is a symbolic form of Shankar. And then there is a mala, a rosary, always shown in Shankarji's hand, which is again symbolic, which means he is in a constant remembrance or experiencing a constant connection, a link between the soul and the Supreme Soul, which is symbolized in the form of the mala, repeatedly, remembering the Supreme. Then he's been shown as the one seated on the lion skin. So, which is again the symbol of lion is considered a dangerous, animal, a powerful animal, the one who experiences all the powers. Seated on that lion skin means the one who experiences all the powers by experiencing a connection with the Supreme. So now we will understand the difference between the Supreme Soul, Shiva, and Shankar, the deity soul. Deities are different, they are many in number, whereas Supreme is one. So let us understand. Supreme Soul and the deity soul. Shankar is referred as the deity soul, Supreme Soul is above all the deities. Then Shiva is the incorporeal one, which means he doesn't has a body like us, whereas Shankar is being depicted as the one with a subtle body or the body of light. The one who is meditating is empowering his aura or the body of light. So Shankar, being the symbolic form of we meditators, is again a subtle body holder. Coming to the next aspect is God is the creator, Shiva is the creator, and Shankar is the creation. All we souls is his creation, including the deity soul of Shankar. Then Shiva is the benefactor, Kalyankari, always there to benefit us, whereas Shankar is being referred to the destroyer. Now, what destroyer of what? He's been referred very correctly, he's been said as the destroyer, but destroyer of what? That concept has to be understood clearly. We thought destruction of the outside physical world, because in the scriptures it has been shown that when Shankar opens his third eye, the destruction on a physical level outside happens. But truly speaking, the third eye is also not physical, and the destruction shown is also not on a physical level. It is something subtle. The third eye is the subtle eye of knowledge, which is invisible soul, and the destruction of the 5 vices within the soul happens when this soul or a meditator experiences a connection with the Supreme Soul. The destruction of the vices or the viruses within the soul happen, which leads to the destruction of the vicious world, the Vikari world, which we see outside, where everybody is, affected by the viruses called the 5 vices. Okay, more powerful than the viruses existent in the present world, more than the coronavirus also. The oldest viruses which the soul is affected is the lust, greed, attachment, ego, and anger. These are our true enemies, and we have to work towards it to overcome these old enemies of ours, which is the root cause of all problems in our life. Okay. The next is Shiva is being referred to as the Yogeshwar, the one whom all yogis are remembering, and he doesn't remember anybody, or he doesn't get associated with anybody superior to him, because he is the ultimate one, whereas Shankar is being referred to the yogi, or the one who associates or connects himself with the Supreme Soul. Shiva is the resident of the soul world. Yesterday we understood in the picture shown that soul world is beyond the subtle region or the corporeal world. It is far above. Shiva always constantly resides there. From one place he is radiating his powers in the form of raises, like the sun gives its raises from one point. Likewise, Shiva always resides in the soul world, whereas Shankar is always referred to a resident of the subtle world. So yesterday we understood that above the corporeal world there is a subtle region. So Shankar, who is being referred to as the deity, or the one who is become a complete deity form, is being shown in the subtle region. Now, the entire world, if you see, is affected by these 5 viruses, or these 5, it has been shown as the asuras over here. The biggest one is lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. These are our real enemies. So I'm sure you all will agree with me that even if it is a small percentage, but we all have these 5 vices within us. Yes? Do you think so? We all have some percentage of anger, some percentage of ego, greed. Yes? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. 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 We all have to agree that these are the 5 vices which is omnipresent in all souls. It is not God who is omnipresent, but the vices within the souls, within mankind, which is now affecting the entire world, which is prevalent in the entire world. Okay, so in order to get rid of these 5 vices, we need to connect the soul with the Supreme Soul. When we associate the soul with the Supreme Soul, which is called Rajyoga meditation, the power from the Supreme, the powerful raises from the Supreme, when it is focused on the soul, the viruses or the 5 vices within the soul burns out, or it vanishes, it runs away. Just like any evil spirit, it is been told that any evil spirit, when it enters a human body, it is afraid of some light. If you burn a fire, the soul, the evil soul within the body, it is afraid of that. Yeah. So anything which is evil is afraid of light. So likewise, these viruses or these vices which are evil within the soul, these are also afraid of God's light. So if you want these viruses or these evil spirits or these asuras to, be removed from the soul, we need the bright light of the Supreme, or we need to meditate with this Supreme light, which is more powerful than the laser beams, which is being used for various treatments in the medical sciences of late. So just like those laser beams are focused on any viruses in the body, and those viruses burn away, like cancer cells or any other not so healthy cells, the laser beam, which is called chemotherapy, is being focused on that. But the disadvantage of the human, these rays are, it burns away some good cells also. There are side effects to it, right? Because it's created by human beings. Whereas the supreme light or the supreme radiant energy or the supreme beam of light is having no side effect. It is correctly being focused on the soul, which is called meditation. Today, towards the end of the session, we will experience how to associate the soul with the Supreme Soul and draw the energy within the soul, recharge the battery of the weak soul, which is being discharged, and then on one level, it works on these viruses also of the soul. There are certain viruses in the body which is treated by some sort of medical help, right? Those are physical, so it is physically being treated, but there are certain viruses which are affected not on the body but on the soul, which is called lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego, which is not visible with these eyes. Lust doesn't has a form, greed doesn't has a form, anger doesn't has a form, ego doesn't has a form. So these viruses are invisible. So for that invisible viruses, we need the power from the invisible one, from the Supreme Soul, so that we get rid of these viruses. And just imagine your life without these vices. Can you see? When there is no small percentage of anger within you, not even to 1%. There is no ego at all, 0%. There is no greed at all in your life, 0%. No attachments, 0%. No lust, 0%. Imagine how beautiful your life would be. Can you see it? Yeah? Can you feel it? Even if you can't feel it
Sister,
now.
can I ask one?
Yeah. Can we keep... Sorry, can we keep all the questions towards the end? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
You can make a note of it, and we'll, because in the coming, let me finish what I have to say, because some questions are answered even before, you ask me. That is why towards the end, why I'm telling is because if anything left over which I have not addressed to, then you can ask me towards the end. Okay? Hope this is okay with you, sister? Yeah. So coming to these viruses, how this energy works, we will see. The Supreme Soul is all powerful up there, who is being referred to God Shiva, and he comes onto this earth at one point, which is taking a human body for a short while, and uh, he incarnation of the Supreme Soul Shiva during the darkness of ignorance is Kali Yuga. To destroy the five vices and bring the light of knowledge on earth is symbolically called Shivratri. See, in the Hindu religion, there is a festival called Shivratri celebrated. I'm sure all of you might have heard about it. Yeah. So this festival is a very is, I can say, the greatest of all festivals, because it is the memorial of God Shiva from the highest abode of the soul world coming onto this earth, taking a human body. He doesn't enter a womb like us. That is why his birth is not referred like the ordinary birth. His birth is referred as incarnation. For a short while, he takes a human body so that the darkness of ignorance in the Kali Yuga, which is now the world is being referred to Kali Yuga, so which is that absolute darkness in Kali Yuga. Nobody knows what they are doing, why they are doing. So, and there are vices also prevalent in the dark. All the dark places have lots of lizards, spiders, and all sorts of dirty things. Likewise, when there was no light of God, there was darkness of Kali Yuga or ignorance, and there were lots of vices prevalent. In order to finish that darkness, the light of knowledge comes onto this earth, and symbolically we celebrate Shiva Ratri, which means he comes in the night of ignorance, where there is no light of knowledge, when nobody knows what they are doing. In order to finish that night of ignorance, he comes into not the Ratri of 24 hours, he comes onto the Ratri of, in the Ratri of Kali Yuga, to finish the vices within mankind. That is the work of God, to finish all the vices, which is now the root cause of sorrow and suffering. Okay, so symbolically, this festival is being celebrated, and on the festival day, just to let you know, those who are not aware of what people do on Shivratri, people are awake whole night, and they do fasting on that particular day so that they please Lord Shiva. But truly speaking, staying awake at one night doesn't help us that much. I'm sure all of you will agree. Yeah. Suppose I'm awake today night, I decide. And then I think that all my sins are finished and I've completely become a pure soul. Is that a reality? Is it going to happen? Or by staying awake, I think that I'm going to please my Supreme Father. Will any father be happy if their child is awake in the night, or they sleep, or they get quality sleep in the night? Which one, as a parent?
Quality sleep.
Quality sleep, of course. Just like physical parents only, they want their children to sleep peacefully and have a good quality sleep. How can the Supreme Father be pleased or be happy by you being awake one night? So being awake has a different meaning. The spiritual meaning of being awake is awaken the consciousness of the soul. Realize that you're not the body, which we thought we are just a body made up of flesh and bones, but we are a superior being within the body. And as a soul, I belong to the Supreme Soul. So this realization is being referred to the awakening of the true self. So instead of awakening the soul realization, we thought that by staying awake one night, we will be pleasing the Supreme Soul. But truly speaking, nothing of that sort was happening. And we thought by fasting or not eating one day, we are, pleasing the Lord. Let us say you're fasting for one day, and do you think that your physical parents would be happy? Okay, for detoxification of the body one day, it's fine. But if you fast another day or the third day and you start feeling weak, Hmm? Will your parents be happy about that? Or
No.
if you eat properly?
Yeah.
All parents would love to see their children eating properly and, leading a healthy quality life. Fine? Well, similarly, the Supreme Father also never ever recommended us to fast actually. The, the spiritual meaning of fasting, which in Hindi the word fasting means upavas. If you go to it's a Sanskrit word, if you go to the real meaning of upavas, it means sameep vas karna. Up means sameep and vas is staying, which means staying closer to God or experiencing a connection with God. Instead of, staying closer or experiencing a connection, we thought just by fasting we would be able to please the Lord. But truly speaking, in spite of so many people fasting on that particular day or so many people staying awake on that one particular day, nothing great is happening. No big transformation in souls is happening. We are not getting rid of the vices within us. We are not becoming a better person, nor are we experiencing God in our life, because more or less it's become a time pass thing. People have to stay awake. They turn on the TV, watch movies or play cards, and spend that night wasting their time in time pass activities. But where are we experiencing God in spite of staying awake, in spite of doing so much? So the experience of God is missing by doing so. Truly speaking, Shivratri symbolizes that God comes in the night of ignorance and finishes the darkness within the souls, brings light within the soul, the light of knowledge, which helps to get rid of these five vices as shown in the picture there. See how this light of spiritual knowledge finishes the lust within you, finishes the anger within you, finishes the greed, the attachment, and ego within you. Right? When you focus, your thoughts get aligned from soul with the Supreme Soul. When you associate with your thoughts, with the help of your thoughts, associate the soul with the Supreme Soul, this divine light finishes the viruses within the soul. Okay? Now, the question is, where is God? We have discussed on this earlier, so I will quickly, just explain that. If God is everywhere, if He is omnipresent, why go in search of Him to some pilgrimage or to some places of worship? Suppose God is omnipresent within you and me. Do I need to go to a certain place? No, God is there within me. No, I don't have to go. But when I'm going, itself is a proof that God is not there within me. Another picture. The one who is sick. Then if there is God within him, he's calling out, hey Bhagwan, heal me. In pain, his words are coming out in pain. So if there is God within him, who will heal him then? He himself should be a healer. And why should he call out to God to heal him? So that itself again proves that there is not God within us. Another instance, just as fire spreads heat all around, can you experience God's quality everywhere? Something to be thought about. Yeah. Another instance, there's one man who's murdering the other person. If God is there within the murderer and the victim, can God perform such an action? Can he have that violent thought of killing somebody? And can the victim be so weak that he cannot protect himself if there is truly God within him? Something again to be thought about. This all proves that God is not omnipresent. Another instance, there is a rape being committed over here. If God is there within the victim and the person who's conducting that sin, how can God be a sinner? Whereas he is being remembered as the one who is the remover of all sins. How can he perform such acts of sin, which itself is a proof that God is not within us? Otherwise, our deeds would not be sinful, like murdering, committing rape, or any other sinful actions. Another instance. So then where is God? The bigger question is, if he is not within us, he is not in this scene, where is he? So yesterday, see, another instance shown is the prey, one animal eating another animal. If God is there in animals also, will that animal attack another animal, cause pain and suffering to the other animal? Cannot happen. That cannot be the act of God, so brutally killing the other animal. Okay? And the scriptures mentioned that, especially Bhagavad Gita, there is a mentioning that yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat, which means that whenever there is irreligiousness, God incarnates. He comes onto this earth in this country called Bharat, which is now known as India. This is the land where God comes. There is a clear mentioning about this in our scriptures. So the abode of God, which we discussed yesterday, is the soul world, which is beyond the world of beyond the world of corporeal bodies. As shown in the picture, the supreme light and we souls once resided in this abode, or this is the home for all souls also. In that point form, all souls once existed in the abode or the Paramdham, the sweet silent home, from where we come slowly, one by one, into this corporeal world, entering the corporeal body, and we start playing our roles, respective roles. Okay. Then the incorporeal world, which is the Nirakari Lok. This is where God resides in Paramdham. He is not here or everywhere. He is beyond the scene. He is above the scene. When there is a calamity, what our politicians do to understand that what is the intensity of damage which the calamity has, done, is they take a helicopter ride. So when they are above the scene, they are able to see actually how much, let us say there are floods in our city. So with the help of a chartered flight, the people who are into power, they come to understand that, okay, this area is totally drowned, this area needs some help, this area needs, whatever solutions required. So when they are above the scene, they are able to have a better look of what's beneath them. Likewise, God is always, shown the one who's upwards or above. So we understood yesterday that he resides in the incorporeal world, the Nirakari Lok. That is why he has a better vision of the happenings in this corporeal world. So one who has a better vision can give you better solutions. Whereas we souls are in the scene. So, in the scene, we can extend limited help to each other. Whereas the one who is above the scene, who has a better vision of the scene, can extend a better help because of the clarity which he holds, right? So that is why he is called the one above. Always, all the founder father, religious heads, we souls also have shown him above. So above also, the exact place where he resides is the Nirakari Lok. Nirakari means there is no akar or the human form or the body. God is omnipotent but not omnipresent. Omnipotent means he has all the powers. The power of purity, power of knowledge, power of love, power of all the divine powers are there within him. But he is not omnipresent. That needs to be understood, which means he is not within all souls or within all the objects around us, which we thought, which was our understanding about him. But the real aspect or the real abode as explained by him himself is that he resides up there. Now you will ask, sister, how did you come to know that he resides up there and he looks like this, and this is his home and this is the home for all souls. So this supreme soul who doesn't have a body comes onto this earth takes a human form for a short while and explains this knowledge through a human medium, which is referred as Brahma. Or in the picture earlier which I have shown you, there is the human form of the founder father shown there. So truly speaking, through this instrument of Brahma, we all understood this knowledge about, or the true introduction about God. And when we started experimenting on this, we found a lot of beautiful changes within ourselves. And that itself was a proof, a beautiful feeling, a wonderful change, which we were looking forward to. That gave us the proof about the truth of this knowledge. Okay, make sense? So, moving forward, relationships with God. So, in meditation, we experience different relationships with God. We experience Him as a father, like we all have a physical father and we have a connection with them. From a father, certain things are experienced, the fatherly inheritance, the fatherly care and all of that, the guidance. Yeah. So similarly, we experience this relationship of our eternal father with the Supreme Soul. Yeah. Then we experience him in our meditation as a true mother, nurturing the soul, taking care of the soul, as a mother, always protective. So he is remembered as the true eternal mother also. Third relationship we experience from him is a true teacher. As the teacher guides you through life, what is good for you, what is bad for you, what is helpful for you to grow as an individual, there is a major role being played by a teacher also in our lives. Likewise, when we associate ourselves with the Supreme Soul in meditation, we experience him as a true teacher, guiding us all the time as to what is good for us and shaping our souls into better individuals. Next is experiencing him as a companion. Yeah? In meditation, we experience God as my true companion 24/7. Is there anybody in this group who has a companion 24/7? Just within seconds, if you remember that companion who can, give you some solutions or is around all the time. Anybody out there? 24/7, never fails to help you, never, puts you down or is always there to support you. Is there?
No.
No. Truly speaking, nobody can be there for you 24/7. At times when you really need a companion, especially now in these days, many people are not having any company at all, So whom do we count on when certain situations like this, emerge? Because this came suddenly. Nobody expected Corona and nobody expected social distancing, and we would not meet our loved ones for many, many months together. Nobody thought about it at all. This is something, suddenly which emerged. So where can I trust for companionship, which is beyond the limitations of body? That is by the Supreme. So truly speaking, a good meditator always experiences a company, a safe and secure company of God. That is why he never, even though we need human companies also, but even if that is missing, we still feel that we are in the company. We are not alone. You know what is the biggest disease in the world now? Any idea? Loneliness.
Loneliness. Yeah.
Exactly, loneliness. Many people are suffering from loneliness, do not have anybody to share their feelings, to share their ideas, or to just to listen to them also. So loneliness is growing day by day. Many people, even though there are two in the house, they are so disconnected with each other that the one person doesn't want to talk to the other person, doesn't want to see the face of the other person also. So even though they are under the same roof, they are alone. as if they do not exist for each other. So whom do you count as your true companion, which is Supreme Soul? In meditation, we experience the companionship of God, and then that missing feeling or the feeling of loneliness finishes away. That is something to be experienced, which within a short while we will also today have a short demonstration of what meditation is all about. Then the next relationship is we experience him as a beloved one, or the one whom we love the most. Actually speaking, the one who never fails in the area of love is God. That is also something to be experienced. These days, many people have breakups with their partners, and the love factor is slowly decreasing. But the one relationship where love is always there and never fails or never has anything to offer to you, that is our Supreme Father or the Beloved One. Then you can experience the relationship of a child also with God. Especially parents, they have lots of love for their children. Likewise, we, the children of God, can experience Him as a true child also. And that bonding or connectivity like a child, we can experience. Then a true friend whom you can count on or whom you can share anything and everything at any given point. You are just a thought away with this friend, and this friend will never let you down. Then the next is a Sat Guru, a real Guru. Sat means a true Guru. Guru means a mentor, a guide who can, properly guide you to your destination and doesn't, give up any time on you, has patience with you, helps you to shape your life in a better way. So your mentor or your guru can be experienced as God. Okay, so this is about experiencing the relationships with God. Now I invite the questions from the audience. Anybody who has, am I clear up till here? Are things making sense to you? Yes, sister, somebody was asking a question. You're welcome to share your question.
Hello, hi, sister.
Yes.
So my question is that you say detachment is the one of the thing that we should not have. So is there wrong to have attachment with your father, mother, your sister? These are also important part of our life. Like we are daily basis, we are interacting with us.
Yes. Very good question, Jaideep. Actually, attachment is a vice. It's considered to be a vice, and love is being considered as a virtue. So in relationships, love is perfectly justified. We all have to have a loving relationships, loving connections with, like you said, your mother, father, and your immediate family members or your friends. So love is a beautiful thing. Love is a virtue of the soul also, the core value of the soul. So love is different from attachment. There is a thin line between love. Attachment is not good for the soul, whereas love is required for the soul. What is this thin line? Let us understand. And attachment depletes the energy of the soul, sucks the energy of the soul, pulls you down. And love uplifts the energy, boosts the energy of the soul. Where there is love factor, you feel energized. Where there is attachment factor, the energy depletes within the soul. Let us see how. I'll give you an example. There is a surgeon. Let us say I am a surgeon. I have performed many knee surgeries on various patients till date, and I'm very good at it. And people know me. I'm a very popular doctor, and I blindly at times perform surgeries and they're happening successfully because of my experience, right? Then one fine day, when my mother has some knee issues and she has to undergo a surgery, will I be able to perform a surgery on her? Or generally what happens to the surgeons who have to perform surgeries on their immediate family members? Are they able to perform it? What do you think? Yeah?
I think they can't make it because of
Yes.
the affection.
Yes, because of the attachment, they are unable to perform surgeries even though they are very well experienced surgeons, even though they have done hundreds of surgeries in the past. But still, when it comes to their immediate family member, where did the entire knowledge go? Where did the entire experience go? Why is it not helping them now? Whereas they did it help them in the past. Why is it not helping them now in this particular case? Because there is attachment within that relationship. So all the skills, all the experience, all the knowledge became zero on that day. This person, this surgeon has to refer another surgeon when it comes to performing a surgery on their immediate family member, right? So what happened to all your skills, all your experiences? Became zero. So attachment is love plus sorrow, whereas love is just pure love. That boosts the energy, that enhances your skills. It doesn't pull you down. There is no sorrow factor in love, whereas attachment is too much of love, reaching a point where there is, clinging on to it, holding tightly to that relationship. That is why when you don't see that person, suppose that person leaves the body, whom I'm too much attached to or clinged on to, I feel sorrow. That is attachment. So attachment is not good for the soul. Love is good. We need to have loving connection rather than having attachment in relationships. Am I clear? Yes, sister? Am I clear?
Yes.
Anybody?
Can you give a different example of attachment? Means I always felt that attachment to material thing is bad. It's a vice,
Mm.
but towards your loved one, it shouldn't be a vice. So apart from the surgeon, if you can give me a different example which I can relate to. um,
Okay, I get your point. I would say that I have love for somebody, and let us say I have a loving connection with my sister. Okay, I will do whatever she asks for. I will go that extra mile. But when it comes to attachment, even though at times I want to help her, out of attachment I am unable because I am holding on to that relationship tightly. There's too much of love, and suppose this sister whom I'm experiencing a loving connection, if I don't see her, if she leaves the body, if she ignores me or doesn't see me or have any communications with me, I experience lot of sorrow. Whereas when there is a loving connection between us, even though we don't see each other, we don't meet each other, even though we are not communicating with each other, we still are okay with that. It is a comfortable feeling within. Love gives you that comfort, whereas attachment is something uncomfortable. If one word she expresses a wrong word to me, she speaks to me in a disrespectful way, or she avoids me or doesn't speak to me, anything goes wrong there, I feel hurt because of attachment. Whereas when we have loving equation, even though there is one word wrong going there, I don't feel that hurt. Okay, is that clear, or you need some more examples on that?
I understood it. So how do you decide between the thin line of love and attachment? It can be very much similar. So how do you know that this is love and this is not attachment?
As I said, it is about the uncomfortable feeling. When some uncomfort is there, discomfort is there, that is a symbol to me that there is attachment. Attachment always, because it is not our core value. Our core value is love. So it is not something part of me, it will create some discomfort within me. That is the identity of attachment. When it is comfortable, that gives me the symbol or the signal to me that yes, there is love in this relationship. It's all about comfort and discomfort within. Anything which is creating discomfort is not good for me. That is a vice. Vice will definitely create discomfort. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Sister, I just want to come to one of the Brahma Kumari's center. Is that possible? In another 1 month or so.
Actually, truly speaking, all our centers are closed and our services are, we are not open to public, but if you have a very, very genuine reason, then maybe we can think about it. We can talk about your reason in the number given in the chat box. You can call me and then help me understand what reason you are looking. If you have a really, really strong reason, because now since Corona, our headquarters have directed us not to, keep the centers open or do not meet people. There's no activity as
Okay.
such going on. That's why online
Okay.
courses are happening. Right?
Okay. After this, can I expect the centers will be open, right? I used to get invitations there are live events going on before, but I could not attend. But are they
Okay.
going to start in the near future after the lockdown and all?
Yeah, I'm not sure how, when, but yes, once this Corona episode is over, I'm very sure that all the live events will go on like it used to happen earlier. Which center were you
Okay.
associated with, or from where were you
Like
getting invites?
Gach
Sorry?
Gachibowli.
Gachibowli.
Gachibowli Center. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, it will happen soon, sister, and let's hope, let's do some good meditation that, this thing goes quickly and we come back to our normal, the regular normal, not the new normal.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sister. Thank you. Yeah.
Can we have a few minutes of meditation before we conclude our session for today? Okay.
Can I ask one small question?
Yes, please. I can't hear you.
Okay. How about attachment with kids or children?
Again, as I said, have love for them. Do things out of love, not attachment. Attachment is a vice which creates a lot of sorrow within the soul. Have love factor in your relationships. I'll discuss more on this tomorrow. I'll give you more examples to understand what is love and what is attachment and how you can. Your speaker is not working. No, it is showing that my speaker is not working. It is showing on my screen, it is not working. Am I audible to everybody?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, sorry. On my screen, it was showing that your speaker is not working. That's why I got confused. Right. So, yeah, I'll come to it once we start our session tomorrow. I will address to it in detail also. So, for now, we will sit in meditation for a short while. Yes, sit back comfortably. Relax your body for a few minutes. Disassociate yourself with the external world, the world of sounds, the world of roles and responsibilities, the world of action and reaction, and Visualize that you are a point of light seated in the center of your forehead. I am a peaceful being of light, a soul separate from this costume of mine. I experience a detachment from this body of mine. I, the being of light, is pure and powerful. Peace is my true nature. I experience the true inner peace within the soul. Slowly, I see myself stepping out of this costume of mine. In this point form, I'm moving upwards, crossing the sky, the stars, the moon, the known galaxy. I'm beyond this corporeal world, crossing the subtle region. I visualize this point of light, the soul, moving further upwards, reaching out to a space which is surrounded by golden red light. I see my spiritual father, the Supreme Soul, seated in front of me.